Hey guys, Bob here from Raw Strength and Muscle, and today I want to introduce you to the first episode of Tactical Thursdays. From now on, every Thursday, I'm going to be uploading videos about a certain aspect of tactical life, okay? It could be anything from defensive shooting to actual hand-to-hand combat techniques, up to awareness, dealing with fear, dealing with pain, or any of the other mental aspects, tactical, strategic aspects of defending yourself and other people on the street, okay? For those of you who don't know, my first job after I got out of the Army was actually teaching for a security company. So that included everything from, of course, laws and psychology and soft skills like that, up to like taking a guy down, throwing on handcuffs, using different types of nightsticks, a lot of shooting. As a matter of fact, the company that I worked for had an instructor for the instructors who was medically discharged from the GSG-9, which is basically the German FBI hostage rescue unit, okay? So like he was extremely good at shooting, and then he would like train us on shooting. We'd hang out like several times a year where we would just, all the instructors would get together, we'd just go ahead and shoot, do different types of courses. So I have a lot of experience doing, but also teaching that kind of stuff. Also, not only do I have like experience with like traditional martial arts, I've got a black belt in Hapkido. I did combat sports. I actually won a gold medal, believe it or not, in submission wrestling years ago in Europe. It was in France. Okay, so I have a lot of experience in martial arts and in combat sports, but I also, for a long time when I was living in Germany, worked as a bouncer, okay? I had a breakup. I was kind of spending a lot of time at home alone, and a buddy of mine, one of the guys I trained, was like, listen, I need somebody I can trust. You need to get out of the house. Why don't you start working with me on the door on the weekends? So every Friday and Saturday night for several years, I ended up working as a bouncer in GI bars, GI discotheques, CD strip joints, biker bars, okay? I got involved in this like little society of bouncers who were actually in places where fights happened, where we knew each other, we trusted each other, okay? So we would always like go together. We would all bring ourselves to different places. I have a job. I need some guys I could trust. Who wants to come with me to work here? So I've had a lot of experience being in fights, seeing fights, like actual fights, not just like hanging in the back of a nice discotheque where nothing really happens wearing a suit, but actual shitty little places where a lot of violence happen. I've seen one-on-one violence, one-on-many violence, many-on-many violence, weapons. I've seen everything, okay? And I've been involved in everything. So I have not just the academic training in combat sports and shooting and traditional martial arts, but I also temper that with the fact that I've actually seen so many fights on the street. I know how they start. I know what happens before they start. I know what happens after they're over. So that's like what I really want to bring to the table here, is teaching you guys not just like a couple cool moves, but teaching you guys actually the difference between a street fighter and a combat sportsman, okay? Because at the end of the day, every fight that happens on the street is a street fight, okay? I get a lot of people every time I bring this up, and they're like, well, I don't want to be a street fighter. So if you're out with your wife or your kid or both, and somebody wants to kidnap your kid, you're just gonna be like, oh, honey, take care of that. I don't want to be a street fighter. You're on the street. There is a fight. There are no rules. Nobody's there to save you. If you're on the street and you're in a fight, you're in a street fight. There are absolutely no rules. The only way that you can survive is by fucking knocking the other person on his ass. Period. End of story. Okay? There's no complaining. There's no saying he did something wrong. He wasn't allowed to do this. That was against the rules. He cheated. If you don't cheat, you're a fucking moron. By definition, if you do not cheat in a street fight, you are a fucking idiot and you deserve to have your ass beaten. So this, ivory tower, like, I don't want to be a street fighter. Tell your wife that when she's getting fucking dry fucked up the asshole because you're not enough of a man to fucking headbutt somebody and kick him in the head when he's lying on the ground. Well, honey, I'm not a street fighter, so have fun with that guy. You are on your fucking own. At the end of the day, every man is responsible for his family. And if you're not willing to learn how to defend your family against violence, you are not a fucking man. And whether you know it or not, it's fucking obvious if your wife doesn't fucking trust you to fucking take care of her. And it's fucking obvious if your wife looks past you and hopes if anything happens, I hope there's a nice, big, strong man around to help me because I know my husband's a fucking pussy and he can't fucking handle it. So at the end of the day, like I said, if you're on the street and you're in a fight, I don't care if it's two fucking biker gang members fighting over a bag of crystal meth and who fucking is supposed to make more money from the deal, or if it's a little soccer mom defending her kid from a fucking child pedophile rapist fucking child abductor. At the end of the day, every fight on the street is a street fight. So that's basically lesson number one. And that's going to be the attitude that we're going to come at from now on. Okay. So if you guys have any questions about things I'd like to cover, like I said, mindset, dealing with pain, dealing with anger, dealing with fear, awareness, like I said, techniques, training, armed, unarmed, okay? The only thing I don't like to cover really is like laws and morality, because your morality is your morality and laws are specific to, country, state, city, and everything else. So I don't like to give any like legal advice. But at the end of the day, like I said, I want to cover any and every aspect of actual street survival. Got plenty of experience and plenty of training to share. So just go ahead and let me know what you want to know. And like I said, starting next Thursday, that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be covering these videos every single Thursday. Appreciate you guys watching this. Definitely comment down below. Let me know what you want to see. Aside from that, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't. Like the video if you like this new series. And I'll see you in the next video.